Wolf Lyncher, welcome Jay and Grant.
Hi.
Thanks you
Hi.
guys for coming today. Jay, where are you from?
I'm from South Korea.
South Korea. Is that where that Gangnam style guy is?
Yes, it is.
Did you get to see him?
Oh, I haven't met him.
But you know
Before.
how to do the dance?
No, I don't.
How long have you been here in New Zealand?
I have been in New Zealand for 19 years.
19 years.
Yes, I came here when I was 14, and I'm 32 now.
And what made you come here?
Oh, my parents sent me and my brother to Oamaru, and they just put us in a boarding school, and they just left.
Wow. Seriously.
Yes.
And then what happened after that?
Oh, so we stayed in the boarding school for about a year, and then we couldn't take it anymore, so we moved up to Christchurch
That's even worse.
and finished high school there.
Okay. How was it for you that obviously being Asian, how will you feel like being Asian in Oamaru and then go to Christchurch? How you feel about being an Asian growing up in that sort of area? Did you feel like sometimes you feel you get treated not right, or you were like the Gangnam master, you don't give a shit?
Back then, all I could say was hi, hello, how are you? And I remember I even said good morning at like 7 p.m.
I had the same problem, you know. When people asked me in the beginning when I come to New Zealand, no kidding, they said, how are you? I said, fine, thank you. They said, how old are you? I said, fine, thank you.
And because I was 14 and the people around me were similar age, and
Okay.
you know how teenagers are. So I got bullied a lot. But I mean, like at those kind of ages,
Right.
what can you expect?
Do you know Kung Fu at all, and you can go and karate chop these guys?
My brother was quite wild,
Okay.
so he got into a lot of fights,
Yeah.
and he put both of us in a trouble all the time,
Okay.
detention, and
And then how long ago you shipped to Auckland?
came here when I was 22, 23.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you're married now? What kid you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I am married, and I've got a boy who's 3.5.
3.5.
Mhm.
Okay. And currently, you got involved in property a few years ago. What Grant?
Yes.
And were you making money then?
Yes. Thanks to Grant, the first trading that I've done was quite successful,
Yeah.
and I could get second one before I even sold the first one. So that was
Wow.
great.
Yeah. Was that better than a full-time job doing properties, or you had a job then, or what were you doing?
Yes, I was cutting hair as
Okay.
a barber,
Yeah.
but being a barber, you don't have salary.
Yes.
You work based on commission. So if you cut 10 hairs, then, but sometimes I cut like 3 to 4 people, which is not enough.
So in a busy day when you're cutting people's hair, how many would you cut in a day?
15 to 20.
Wow, that many.
Yes.
So how do you feel by the end of the day? How was your finger when you clip all the scissors for that long?
Oh, your back hurts,
Right.
your fingers hurts, and your neck
And the next day you do the same thing again.
again and again. But I enjoyed it
Okay.
because I enjoyed cutting hair and meeting new people.
And how does it feel like when you stuff somebody's hair up? So you cut my hair and then you just cut it wrong. And I want my money back. What do you say to the customer? Does that happen?
That happens sometimes. You end up cutting someone's ear.
Okay. So then you got into property, you made
Mhm.
some money, and then you went sort of like off track for a little while.
Yes. Mhm.
And why did you do that?
When I was doing trading, I met a lot of agents, and
Yeah.
I thought that I could do the same.
Right.
Rather than trading, I could say someone's, trading properties or someone else's properties, and yeah, I just wanted to give it a try,
Okay.
and I got my license, but it wasn't for me.
Okay. So now you're looking at joining Grant again
Yes.
for his advice and his guidance.
Yes.
Is that to fast track your wealth, or is that to give you better guidance in investing and probably buy the right property, make the right money, because you feel like you don't have enough knowledge, or Grant will guide you to that area?
Before I joined Grant, he just gave me a different eyes. When you see a property, I was emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
But now, he taught me that it's all about the numbers.
Yeah.
So he taught me how to run numbers, and how what's the right amount to buy it, and how to fix it, and how much it's gonna be to fixing it,
Okay.
and the selling price.
And do you have to ask your wife for approval, or she leave it to you to make decisions? Because property investing is quite important with your partner support.
Oh, so my wife also did trading with me.
Oh,
So
great.
that's
And-
the great thing with Jye Wan and May. They work together.
Okay.
And what property gave them on many fronts was flexibility
Yep.
for their young boy.
Yes.
They work together as a team, husband and wife, and it gives them some solace in building a portfolio of wealth for themselves and their family going forward. So it was ideal for them both coming together. When I get clients like May and Jye Wan working as a team, they actually succeed 3 times faster than an individual.
So
Not
tell me this,
twice.
Grant, like sometimes we get one of these couples or husband and wife where the wife or the husband antis first to the program, antis buying investment property. That just can't work, does it?
No, it doesn't help anybody. We have a huge handbrake that's at home. And I've had clients which are the reverse. The husband's the handbrake,
Right.
and the wife is just 100 mile an hour.
Okay.
And sometimes the other way around as well. But with all my clients, I make sure that I meet them both.
Yes.
And make sure and just work out just who's doing what in the relationship, and all in the business plan and the relationship as well.
Okay. So, Jye Wan, you are looking at now, obviously going to buy your next property somehow, somewhere soon.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your future career you're going to do? Like you're now in between career, shifting career now?
Yes. I would definitely wanna trade
Yeah.
properties,
Okay.
and my goal is to have as many rental properties as possible.
What is your goal? Like how many millions? If I have to ask you how many $1 million of property you think you want to have in the next 10 years, what
Next
would be in
10
your
years,
mind? Yes.
Next 10 years, $10,000 in rental per month.
Right. So that's 120,000 a year. Well, you can do that in 2 years, not 10 years. We'll do it in 2 years, even
Yes.
sooner.
Yep.
But if I ask you a question now, then when do you see yourself being 5 million net worth? Is it possible? Do you? Is it in a lifetime, or is it something that you want to say 5 million net worth?
5 million net worth.
Yeah. What's your mind telling you right now?
I definitely wanna achieve that before I turn 40.
How many years that to come?
I'm 32.
8 years. Yeah.
8 years.
That's doable.
How?
Okay, how is exactly that. So how is like, are you prepared to do what we tell you to do, and do whatever it takes?
Yes.
And that's just like nothing out of ordinary. All we want you to do is, through our experience, our guidance, through our advice, that in 8 years' time, you can be 5 million net worth, which is you got $10 million property portfolio in 8 years' time. And so that means right now, how old are you?
I'm 32.
32. So you got 8 years But sitting where you are now, in 8 years' time, you say, I want to have $5 million net worth of property, you will be wondering in your mind, how, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you probably think it's impossible. Because if you haven't got it yet, to get there, it's hard. I was thinking exactly the same way when I was in the bakery, and a few guys were working in the bakery, and they said, I own 5 properties. And I said, in my mind, I said, you just lying to me, because how can you own 5 property? Because my mentality tells me that I have to be able to pay all with cash. I didn't know that I can borrow it from the bank. I didn't know that the property doubles in value, and after so many, sometimes it doubles in value in 3 years. So for example, right now, if you can buy 2 or 3 property, and we was be able to guide you that these properties can double in value, or you bought a property that can put 6. Actually, no, last night, I tell you a story. This property in South Auckland was 1,200 square meters, right? The owners believe that they only can put 1 house on it, because it's got 1 house and 1 house, right? So therefore, the property is only worth something like 790,000 to anyone. But through my town planning, my experience, I converted that same property into 10 terrace houses. All of a sudden, the property be worth 1.8 million. Now that's exactly how. So if you do that one deal alone, that's already worth $1 million of equity. You either sell it, you keep it, you revalue it, you borrow against it. But let's just say you sell it. You sell it, all of a sudden your deposit now comes back to you, plus $1 million of cash. All of a sudden you got $1.3 million in cash. Now you can buy 2 properties or 3 properties or the same equivalent. And just imagine now, for the next 365 days in a year, and halfway through the program, you did nothing. And you feel like, I haven't achieved anything. But every day you're going to hunt for the same deal. And when you find the same deal, that's the deal you're going to buy. And that's how you're going to fast track your wealth. And obviously, you would have done $5 million of wealth for people over 8 years a lot faster than that, wouldn't you?
Yes, absolutely.
So you got youth ahead of you, which is a lot of people don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got all of these years ahead of you. You've got a young child, wife. You own your own home right now?
Yes, I do.
Well, there. So the sky's the limit for you, really. But I also, recent 6 months, I have done a deal for a 72-year-old pensioner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this will inspire you. Okay, so you've got to wait for 33 years before you get the pension. Okay, so that's a long way to go, so don't count on it. But this pensioner, she's been my student for 7 years. And it doesn't take a lifetime to make $1 million. It doesn't take a lifetime to be a millionaire. I did a property where I convert the property into a childcare center, plus 9 more property section behind it. And the consent was granted. It took a total of 9 months. It sold for $1.3 million more within 9 months. Now, again, these are the ninja techniques where we see things that you can't see or normal people can't see, because, again, another deal, I'm loving this now. This will, even if you just study for the whole year and do nothing, this property was sold as a terrace house zone, 1,012 square meters, 3 properties. And that's how it was sold. That was how it was sold through an agent. Well, my client bought the property, and I converted it into 85 apartments, 27 meters high, total 42 million.
Jeez.
That property now is worth 5 million. So you just said how, right? You're saying 8 years to get to 5 million. If you only do 2 of those properties in the next 5 years, and in between time you might miss out. For 1 year, do nothing. Well, it doesn't matter, because if you found 2 of those properties, you would have achieved your 5 million. But you must believe in what you do. You must believe in what we guide you. You believe in our team, and it will change. It will change your whole future. And these numbers sounds overwhelming, firstly to you, firstly to the audience, but I do it every week, every year. I do it for the past 26 years. And that's the difference. I see things. But first of all, if you want to get ahead, you the person. I listened to Anthony Robbins the other night. Do you know what the hardest thing is to be successful? You know what it is, what? A decision.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing for all of us is the decision we make. What are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
The decision is, yes, I want this. Yes, I want to do this. Yes, I'm going to study it. Yes, I'm going to read it. Yes, I'm going to ring the agent. Yes, I'm going to walk the street. Yes, I'm going to get rejected. But the decision of doing all of that is the decision of making us all successful. Just the decision you come here today, and I'm actually really winding you up because I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you because I look at myself being in you when I started. In fact, you are ahead of me right now. You know why you're ahead of me?
Because I got my own home.
Exactly. And more importantly, you got the mentors.
Mm-hmm.
That's your bodyguard that protects you. And you got me to wind you up even more and challenge you to get there. But I see the deals. You just got to want it. And I have done that. So I'm excited to have you because other people I interviewed before, they can buy 4 properties, 6 properties, 10 properties, 20 million. And my passion is to create the underdogs to catch up to the successful one. That's always been my forte.
Fantastic. Sounds amazing.
What do you think of that?
Sounds great.
It sounds great today, though, but don't walk out of this room and let it die.
No.
You know, it's like you watch the movie right now, and it's a good scene. You want to go to the toilet, but you don't want to, right? Because it's so good that you want to finish this movie. Even though you're dying to go to the toilet, this is exactly, I want you to keep that. You're watching this movie right now, and you want to go to the toilet, well, don't. Keep the excitement. Keep the dream alive. Keep your focus. Think about your children. Think about, you're going to have another 1 or 2 children, right?
No, one is more than
Okay,
enough.
well then think about this one. Is a boy or girl?
It's a boy.
Okay, he's going to become the ninja master by the time he turns 26. Just imagine that. He's going to become one of our wealth ninja mentors. His future is made through our program, through our advice, and through our trust and respect for everyone that's involved.
Thanks for the advice.
Cool. And look, if you want a career advice, come and see me because we not just provide wealth advice, we provide career, we provide business advice, and who knows where you will go with us.
Thank you.
So thanks for coming to the show, and thanks, Grant, for bringing Jye Wan in.
Great. Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Cool.
Jye Wan.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Grant.